Hi, welcome. In this video, I want to take just a couple minutes to respond by way of a social media um, post video put out by Robert Cabral. Again, the same Robert Cabral that made that highly contradictory statement by way of saying that science has no place in dog training. Okay. And again, I talk about why it's a total contradiction to by way of making statements such as that, based on the fact that balanced dog trainers have built off of the lie, as I call it. We'll talk about this whole issue here in terms of balanced dog trainers, why they can't push back on those who identify as force free. But understanding that balanced dog trainers have built off of the lie, this lie that trains a learning based exercise. And again, when you hear trainers like Robert Cabral talking about science has no place, well, it's a total contradiction based on the fact that balanced dog trainers have actually built off of this idea that training is a learning-based exercise. And so learning in terms of the so-called science of dog training by way, again, learning theory, okay? And this is where you hear balanced dog trainers have make statements talking about in fact they contradict within their own group, contradict themselves. Your balanced dog trainers talk about balanced dog training is more science based. Think about that. So here you have a video put out here, and again, you've seen the dog training world continue to be just in a total upheaval. It's a total mess. You're seeing this back and forth between these two groups of trainers, those who identify as balanced and force free. The question people need to be asking is, why is all this going on? Like, why isn't this stopping? Why is this continuing? Why all these? And here, you're here, Robert Cabral actually making a threat of taking legal action against a statement made by a force-free dog trainer. So I'm going to play some of this. So I want to respond to just the mess, why everything is contaminated by way of this idea trains a learner-based exercise, and why it is that balanced dog trainers, they cannot push back. Okay, no matter how much they threaten, how much they go on, understand this is a rigged game.
So I got a screenshot of somebody who made a comment about me that is a lie. It is just one of the many lies that this science-based movement tends to spread, right? You hear all the time, oh, e-collars, and people use e-collars and prong collars. They are instilling fear. They're causing pain in dogs. So here's a great lie. Actually, it's a terrible lie because it involves the memory of Goofy and Maya, and you guys know how I feel about Goofy and Maya. There's some kind of a person, I don't know if it's a man or a woman, and it doesn't really matter because no matter what they are, they're a piece of scum. This person says that they saw that I put two prong collars on my senior dog because my senior dog was pulling so hard. First of all, my dogs don't pull hard because they're trained, unlike your dogs, which are not trained. I have never, in 25 years of handling some of the most dangerous dogs, some of the biggest dogs, some of the most powerful dogs, unlike any dog that your science-based people handle, right? Unlike those dogs, I've handled real dogs with real issues. I have never, ever put two prong collars on any dog. I challenge you to show me that. Because right now I'm investigating a slander, defamation lawsuit against you.
So here you hear Cabral now making calling out this individual, making a threat of legal action. But here's the problem. Okay, you talk about balanced dog trainers who trying to push back on this idea, the very idea, okay, that they themselves are in agreement with. Okay, and I talk about why balanced dog trainers are in a catch-22 situation, why they're losing their tools, their remote collars are being banned. And even within their own group, you see this back and forth in terms of even what the role of remote collars are. And again, this really comes out in the discussion between, Ivan Balanoff and Larry Crone. Go watch that podcast to understand, again, the reason why all this confusion that's happening in the dog training world. So again, when you hear, individuals like, Robert Cabral, threaten legal action, understand that it's a exercise in futility that you even try to push back on this based on the fact that balanced dog trainers are in agreement with what I call the big lie, okay, in the dog training world. That trains a learning-based exercise by way of, how these trainers are using motivating agents to get a dog to respond when a dog has already gained a level of control in the relationship. Okay, when the relationship problem is already underway. Without understanding, okay, what defines a process. I talk about process following the path of an intervention. How, again, in terms of the role of influence and control, being reconciled coming into a process by way of a intentional interaction based method that, again, I talk about specifics in terms of even dog state of mind, an expressed state. Okay, so as control is manifesting, this is where, again, you see these balanced dog trainers that are not dialed into the role of influence in terms of intercepting those expressed states. And so, therefore, they will take the same path as force-free trainers with motivating, okay, dogs to respond. The real issue is not dealt with. And what happens is these dogs are still holding a level of control throughout the entire process, continue to hold in the relationship, because balanced dog trainers are in agreement. They've built off of this inherently flawed idea. They attempt to bring, influence in by way of what's called corrections, punishment. But again, it doesn't line up because, again, it's still part of this inherently flawed idea. So again, all to say that this the big lie in the dog training world, it contaminates everything. And so the ability for someone like Robert Cabral to come out and make a statement like this, say, well, he's going to sue, going to take action against, well, good luck with that. Okay, based on the fact that balanced dog trainers are in agreement with the big lie. Thanks for watching.